Hi, this is Danny, G0SZI, admin of the RS-BA1 group on Facebook. Just doing a brief video to explain the audio path on a server with a radio connected via USB, okay, to the computer, and RS-BA1 set up already. Okay, now first thing I'm going to show you is this is on Windows 10, but the same applies to other operating systems. Okay, so I've brought up the sounds control panel, which is here. Okay, now first of all, if you look at your playback devices, okay, I've installed the USB codecs as per the RS-BA1 installation manual, and the radio is all connected and working. Now on my particular machine, the USB audio codec here and the recording, the microphone USB audio codec is here. Okay, now what tends to confuse people is which way round these are. Okay, now if you just imagine this USB audio codec as being a lead from the radio to the computer, and the description here, speakers, I believe, is the description that causes so much confusion with RS-BA1 operating on the server. Now this speakers device, this USB device, is actually the output, as you would expect, because it says speakers. It's the output from the server into the radio. So this is actually the microphone, the modulation input to RS-BA1. And if I go over to recording devices, this here, the microphone, is actually the input to the computer from the radio. Okay, and I'll demonstrate this by firing up RS-BA1. Okay, I've already got my radio connected. Okay, so let's open the remote control program. Just check connect set to make sure that I have the correct radio selected. G0SZI IC7610, which you see in my list there. The connection method is USB. There are a few options here. Okay, you don't use remote, whether you're connecting from a remote computer set up as a client, you would still use USB, because this is the method that the radio is connected to. The, in most cases, the 7300 or the 7610, we're using the USB connection. So all of this is okay. Everything tallies here with here, so I can click OK. I'll click connect. There we go. I'll just minimize this. put the band scope on. The band scope is set to 5 kHz center mode, so you can see the audio when I transmit. Now at the moment you can probably hear the audio coming from the radio. Okay. Now I'm just going to show you what I've explained. If I go to the microphone, this is the recording. This is the input to RS-BA1, the server. If I click properties and go to levels, okay, you'll see here the slider, and if I turn it down, you'll hear the audio drop off. Turn it up, okay. So this is the audio level again into the server. I'll just put that back to where I have it, right there. And if I put the radio into transmit, okay, you can see my audio on the spectrum scope. Now if I go across to playback, the speaker level, you also see this go up and down as I talk. Okay. Now remember, this speakers is the audio into the radio, so this is the mod input, and then I can demonstrate that. I'll just bring the scope over to here. You can see my audio on there, and if I go to levels, you'll see there, if I turn this down, slowly turn it down as I talk, you see the audio drop off. Okay, so back down again. I'm not modulating the radio now. If I turn it back up, you'll see my audio come up on the scope. Leave it about there. Okay, alright, yeah, that's good. I'll leave it about there. Alright, so hopefully that explains the just turn the transmit off. Hopefully that explains how the audio works on the RS-BA1 server with a radio connected via USB. The client is as you would expect, really. I'll demonstrate that quickly. Come off here, let's close that down. Open the utility, disconnect from this radio. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect to another server of mine. I'm already connected. This radio is a remote location to me. Okay, I shall go find that radio in my list, and it's this one. I'm going to click connect. Okay, I'm connected to the radio. Go to connect set. It's an IC7300. So I shall select the right radio in the list. Again, remember I said, you know, I'm using the USB connection. The radio is connected via USB at the server and in my remote location. Pick the right radio here. Okay, all of these items tally again with over here. Click connect. Okay, this is my radio at the remote location. Now look at the audio devices, bearing in mind this is now, you see the default audio device is the microphone. That is on this computer. Okay, forget about this now, because this is between the radio, which is actually physically connected to this same RS-BA1 setup. But in this particular instance, my utility is now functioning as a client. Okay. And the microphone is, as you would expect, the microphone input, and the playback device is my playback device. HDMI output, because this is actually running connected to my TV. If I click transmit and go across to the scope, I don't see anything. Okay, so let's have a look, see why I don't see anything. I have the scope on fixed, not on center mode, so I put that on center mode. The other thing to check, we know all this is okay, so I'm going to close this sound panel down now. Just look at the utility. I'm going to click on mod, and make sure that I have mic selected, which I do. Make sure mic set is set to USB, this is important as well. And let's transmit. There you go. Turn the scope bandwidth down, and there you go, you see my audio on the scope. Okay. And the if I go to the sounds again, open up the control panel. Okay, recording there. Let's double click on that, open up the levels, and if I turn the microphone down, you'll see the audio drop off, and because this is a client now. Okay, and if I turn the audio back up, comes back up to a good level, and that hopefully should explain RS-BA1, how the audio works between the server and the radio, and from a client to another server. Cheers all. Any problems, any questions, message me on the RS-BA1 Facebook group. G0SZA 74.